Cue Dave and Ryan in 3, 2, 1.
It's Dave and Ryan's movie review.
So today for the movie review, we went and saw the movie Superman. This is going to run you a little over 2 hours. James Gunn's interpretation, and actually the first movie that he's put together for this DC universe. And we have two very discerning opinions about this movie. The movie, the great thing about it is, and James Gunn even said in an interview, we don't need to see Clark Kent crash land in Kansas anymore. We don't need to see that. We've seen it. We know that. So the movie actually starts with Clark Kent already dating Lois Lane, already working at the Daily Planet, and Superman already being a thing, an entity on the planet Earth. So you cut through all of that. And the thing that I like the most, and I don't want to really get into it because I don't want to give away a lot about the movie itself, I love the fact that this is, I think, something that Superman has needed in this in the realm that we live in. This is probably my favorite Superman movie since the original back in 78 with Christopher Reeve. You get this sense of humility about him. Henry Cavill, whereas people loved him as Superman, was not a humble person. He was not. And I just, you always had that sense of, you know, not him feeling superior to other people, but you just didn't really get a down-to-earth Superman. And this time I think we really do.
I disagree.
Okay, and why do you disagree?
Well, why do you think that?
Because there are moments when he proves that the best thing about him is the fact that he was raised on the planet Earth, that he is a human person.
He didn't show any of that. He just said that.
No, he did show that.
How?
Because his relationships, his relationship with his parents, the fact that he is
He didn't
infallible.
have a relationship with his parents. His parents were dead.
Not in this. Not those parents. The parents on Earth. Those parents, you'll find out some stuff about those parents in this one.
They were bad.
Yeah, you didn't see it coming, but you'll figure that out. But I feel that there was this humility to him in this movie.
I don't feel there was any humility. What humbled him?
The fact that he knew that he made mistakes, that he admitted that he has made mistakes.
So did the other Superman.
You never really felt that. You never really felt that from any other Superman. Maybe from Christopher Reeve. So I guess I'm just picking on Brandon Routh, and I am picking on Henry Cavill.
Yes.
And
what's your beef with Henry?
I don't have a problem with him. I feel that that's the way that it was written. So maybe I have an issue with Zack Snyder. But that's just the way that I know. As if I wasn't going to get crucified enough. And now I've come out and said that I don't like Zack Snyder. We
are going to have people lined up outside.
Come on, bring it on. But I just feel that this was a different take. Now, we talked about the fact after the movie was over that there will be people that are purists that will not like this movie. Because this shows you a Superman that gets hurt, that can lose.
Basically to himself.
Well, we just you'll figure that out too. But it's one of those things that to me, it was probably one of the best takes that we've had on a Superman character. I think James Gunn did what he needed to do. There are still going to be people that hate on this movie. And there are still going to be people that love this movie. And for that reason alone, yes, you have all the different side characters. But the other thing that we discussed is the fact that, you know who the Green Lantern is. You've seen Hawk Girl in a movie. If you watched Arrow, you know who Mr. Terrific is. You know these characters. So why do we need an origin story on them? And I did see one person that ripped the review because they said there wasn't a lot of character development. These are characters you should already know. So why do we need more character development in them? So I love this movie.
But we don't know that this version, like you said. Superman's humble, that's a different take. So with these characters, we don't know anything about his version of these characters. So I can understand whoever said that. It wasn't me, but I understand what he was saying.
The one takeaway that I will, there are two things in this movie that really steal the movie for me. Crypto is one.
So stupid.
I thought Crypto was a great addition to this movie, and Nathan Fillion as Guy Gardner.
Yeah, he was kind of
Kind of a D-bag Green
Yeah,
Lantern.
I was gonna say. I don't think I can say that word on the. He was a British teabag.
He definitely was. But you know what? At the end of the day, I liked this movie. I really did. Ryan has different opinions about this one, and that's fine. That's why we do this. So I'll let you start with your list.
You're not gonna give your buckets?
I'll do it at the end.
Okay. My biggest thing about this was the characters. I said this in our review on Facebook. I didn't like a lot of the characters or character development, as that one person said. Number one, Jimmy Olsen. Jimmy Olsen is supposed to be like this, this loyal companion, upbeat, curious. In this movie, he was basically a D-bag. He lied a lot. He used women to get what he wanted. That's not who Jimmy Olsen is in any version. So that was one of my biggest pet peeves was the whole thing with Jimmy. And then Lex Luthor doesn't cry. He doesn't cry. He cries in this movie. And he's supposed to be some brilliant, smart guy, except for he let his girlfriend take incriminating selfies everywhere. Not very smart at all. Like, at all. Even if she did it accidentally, he still saw her taking selfies, and that is just that's not his character. He would have done something before that. And then Eve, that's his girlfriend taking incriminating photos. And then the guy who's in charge of the newspaper, Perry White.
Yep.
Why did he have a cigar in his hand the entire time? He puts it in his mouth. He takes it out. It was like a very.
It's almost like they were trying to make him J. Jonah Jameson.
Yeah. It was annoying.
Okay.
Just the way he was talking. He was like from like the 1950s or something. Like, yeah. Another one, hot girl.
Okay.
Most of the time, all she did was just screech. Why?
I'll give you that one.
It was annoying. Every time she goes into battle, she's Arr! But when she's not in battle, she talks as a normal person.
Yeah.
Why did she need to screech? Yes, she's hot girl, but come on. I can understand doing it once as a battle cry, but doing it like every 3 seconds is just annoying. Crypto, why? You liked him. He was a stupid character. Throughout the entire movie, I'm just like, where the heck did this dog come from?
Well, you find out at the end of the movie.
Yeah, you find out at the very end, and that brings me up to another one. Supergirl makes a surprise appearance in this at the very end during a mid-credit scene or whatever, and she's basically just a drunk party girl. Yeah, that's my cousin. She likes to party in universes, or not universes,
planets
with red suns, because on white suns we can't get drunk. And she shows up and she's just trashed. And then the engineer at the very end, they basically just left her.
Yeah.
Didn't say what happened to her. She was still alive. She was a cool character, but nothing ever happened. It was just like, okay, we're done. And like with Lex Luger getting arrested and he becomes a traitor, is he a throwaway character now? Are we not going to see him again? How is he going to come back? Because someone who's basically a traitor to the United States isn't going to be able to come back and run a company.
That's very true. However, I will say this: in just about every time he's on screen in a Superman movie, he gets arrested. So he always finds a way to get out.
Like I said, those are my biggest things about this movie.
Okay.
The overall story arc could have been better. I understand, this is the first one. Yeah, it had that feel of it wanted to be like a Guardians of the Galaxy type of movie, but it fell short. If that's what you're expecting in this movie, you're going to be very disappointed.
You do get a little bit of a Guardians vibe.
but not much. It's just like
but
a little dab.
But mainly, I think it's from the soundtrack choices. I think is what gives you that vibe of that.
It builds up your hopes and then smashes them in the ground.
All right. So, with all that being said, where are you going?
I'm giving it 2 buckets.
Ryan gives it 2 buckets.
And for 2 reasons, and you'll when you watch the movie, you'll know the reasons.
You know what? I look at it this way. I gave F1 5 buckets, and I liked F1. I think I like this one just as much, if not better.
Okay.
From my point of view, as I said, this is a Superman movie that we've needed for a while. So I'm giving this one 5 out of 5 buckets.
Yeah, something really stupid happened. At the end of the movie, Dave started the slow clap.
I did.
And people joined in.
I did. I think that was like all of us went from here from the station. About 4 of us went, and I think that was our favorite part of the movie. Was the
Dave
slow
just
clap
starts going.
because Ryan makes a point, and I agree with him. Why do people clap in movies? Because nobody that had anything to do with that movie is there. Nobody had anything. No, not a director, not a key grip, not a Foley, nothing. No one is in the theater, so why are we clapping? So I had to do that.
Yeah, it's kind of like people clapping when an airplane lands. I can understand that to a point because I doubt the pilot can hear you clapping, but like the flight attendants who worked on it, I can understand that, but not clapping in a movie theater in Utah when no one who made this movie is here.
But we didn't know that. There could have been one guy.
I doubt that.
All right. So there you have it. For my money, go see this one. I will go see this one again. And if you like it, I guarantee that you will go see this one again. It's got a lot of rewatchability to it. So
yeah, I wouldn't say that.
Go check this one out. For me, I said for people that like it, you
go see it if you want. I honestly couldn't care less.
All right. So when we come back, this was a reboot. So we're going to talk sequels and reboots and talk a little bit more about that on Dave and Ryan's Movie Review.